really sorry for this issue, but I fixed it for good. So we can start right now. I don't know if we will continue all the session in English, but because I see most of the people, or maybe everyone here is Egyptian or Arabic at least. So I don't know if we will continue the whole session in English, but we will start in English. I hope this is not inappropriate for any one of you. So we'll start by introducing myself to you. I am Ola El Sheikh. I'm an AI researcher and AI instructor at Zaka, beside working as a global ambassador for Huawei. I'm still a student in my senior year in Faculty of Electronics Engineering, but I started my career like 8 years ago. I started in the age of 15, and I started as a graphic designer. Then I shifted to full stack and development and things like this. Then I ended my career, or started my career in artificial intelligence like 4 years ago. Until for now, I work as an artificial intelligence instructor at Zaka. I worked in the field of AI for the past 4 years. I worked for Samsung Innovation Campus. I worked as a global ambassador for Seeds for the Future, and I worked for some projects for the MCIT in Egypt, and of course Zaka. They are my main company for now, as I'm working as an artificial intelligence for Zaka, and in collaboration with Sadaya, Saudi Data and AI Authority. We are actually implementing a machine learning bootcamps for students in Saudi Arabia to learn some machine learning, deep learning, and things like this. So this is what I'm doing for now. And we can start our session, Introduction to Artificial Intelligence and Social Entrepreneurship. We will be going through something like the concept of artificial intelligence, what's artificial intelligence in general, and I said earlier that this session is actually for anyone who is starting his career in artificial intelligence, and you can attend the session if you actually don't have any experience in the field. And because this will be the introduction to the field itself, we will be talking about all the fields and application of artificial intelligence, all the subfields in the big under the big umbrella of AI, and we will be talking about AI and social entrepreneurship, about some limitations and venture creation in the MENA region especially. And maybe in this part I'll be talking in Arabic because I'll be sending some kind of a message for people in the MENA region. If we have time at the end of the session, we will be talking about machine learning pipeline. I'll be sharing a full project in machine learning starting from data preprocessing and data warehousing and things like this till the deployment of the model itself in some kind of application. If we have time at the end of the session, we will be sharing this. And the last thing and last point in our meeting will be some open opportunities for people who seek some opportunities in the field of AI. I'll be sharing some courses and certificates you can take in the field to maybe take further steps in the field as an AI developer or AI researcher. We can start by this short video. I hope I hope the voice gonna be shared. I don't think that I shared the voice. Okay, this video is not available. Thanks, YouTube. So we are not going to share the video because it's not available. We can go back to the slides. Okay, this video was just a brief introduction of the history of artificial intelligence, how artificial intelligence started. And actually, it started a long time ago. People in the MENA region, or especially in Egypt, have listened about AI in early stages, in early years, like 5 or 6 or maybe 10 years. It have become the trend in the last 2 years. So for now, everyone wanna learn artificial intelligence, and a lot of people, actually more of them, are students starting their learning journey, and they think that AI has been born yesterday, but this is not right. Artificial intelligence has been come to life a long time ago, and it started by a chess game. They were playing chess, and there was like championships in a chess. So computers were already invented at the time. So someone came with the idea, why don't we make a computer win the chess game? So how can we do this? We can do this by bring the computer, give him all the pattern, and let him on the game. So will the computer win the game or lose the game? And if he win, will this be good? And when it lose, what will we do? The computer have to learn from his mistakes and learn from it. So they do this. They give all the patterns, all the suggested solutions to the computer. The computer learn from it. They actually learned it they already learned all the patterns and suggestions to the machine. So the machine can learn from them and win the game. And if the machine lose the game, it will also learn from this loss. So this is maybe the first human supervision machine learning model that was created. And actually, at this time, after a lot of development, the computer actually wins the game against the world championship at this time. So that where the word of artificial intelligence or machine intelligence was created. And after this, a lot had happened, and the most biggest companies in the world has started to develop a lot of things until our day. So we can see today all the big companies in the world like Facebook, Amazon, IBM, all the big company you can think about, Google itself, and the ministries in all the countries for now, everyone is using AI in their development. Every application we use, everything that we use today as applications in our mobile phones, everything is using artificial intelligence. Actually, Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, all these things, they are actually using artificial intelligence to track our behavior. Netflix is using artificial intelligence to track our behavior, so it can maybe suggest the most suitable things for us, for our suggestions, for our behavior. So if I go to Netflix, and I always enter Netflix and start watching movies about maybe the world war. So every time I will enter Netflix, after I log in, Netflix will suggest me the most popular TV shows or the most popular movies in the thing I'm talking about. If I go to Facebook and start searching about Gaza, about Palestinian caves, about things like this, everything in my feed will be talking about this. But actually, this is not happening because they are mostly blocking this. But if I go to maybe Instagram and start searching about beach photos or food bloggers or something like this, I will see all my applications. Like I now started searching on Instagram, but when I go to Facebook, when I go to Twitter, when I go to Amazon, when I go to any other application on my mobile phone, I will see suggestions on the thing I was searching on one application. Why this is happening? Because they are actually tracking us. Or any application, you search on something on one application, you will start seeing ads and suggestions on all the other applications. Why this is happening? Because they are tracking us. They are saving the data. There are machine learning models who studies our behavior to start suggestions, more things about the thing we are talking about. So you will be tracked. You will be learned, and machine learnings, and the machines will learn your behavior and start suggest things for you. Why they are experting big efforts in this because they wanna use يعني don't stop use it. You are tracked and you are all the time you hold your phone and still looking at it. You will stay using the phone, you will stay using the application because they wanna you do this. اوكي، فخليني اوضح ده اكتر بالعربي. احنا بنفضل نبص على التليفون بتاعنا ونفضل نستخدمه علشان هم طول الوقت عايزيننا نفضل بنستخدمه. طيب بيعملوا ده ازاي؟ عن طريق ان هو هيفضل طول الوقت بيسجست ليك الحاجات اللي هتفضل انترستنج بالنسبه لك، الحاجه اللي انت بتدور عليها اصلا. يعني انا ممكن ابقى داخله على امازون بدور على حاجه اشتريها، بدور مثلا على مكتب، فبمجرد ما هدور على المكتب ده على امازون هدخل على فيسبوك او انستجرام او اي ابلكيشن تاني هلاقي اعلانات جايه
Excuse
لي.
me. Excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. I want to notice something. The official language for the event is English because it will be recorded and send it to all participants.
I know it's English, but I
Okay.
explain it more. So
Okay.
we gotta be we're using Arabic is more convenient for all the attendees. I know.
Okay. Thank you.
So actually, when someone asks you the question of 1 + 1 equal to what? So actually, it's 2. Okay, it's most of the time 2. But when 1 + 1 equal to 10 or maybe 1 0, it's in binary. So in decimal, we say that 1 + 1 is equal to 2. And in binary, 1 is represented in 0 0 0 1. So 0 0 0 1 plus 0 0 0 1 will be 0 0 1 0. It's the binary language and it's what machines can understand. I think most of the people here can understand what's binary because I think most of you will be have computer science background or engineering background, so you know binary and you know how to use binary. So all the machines, every machine in the world, every mobile phone or every laptop, everything, any machine can understand only 0 and 1. So zeros and ones is the things that machines understand. And what we do in programming is translating our language and our thoughts in some codes, and the machine can translate these codes to machine language that can be understood, like compiling it into machine code so machine can understand it. So artificial intelligence is also something like this. We write codes and machine can translate these codes into machine language that can be understood. But the difference in normal programming, we write input for the machine and the machine can give us output, depends on some instructions that we already give it. But in artificial intelligence, we give the machine the input and the output and some data to learn from it. And when give the machine a new output or a new something new, something that it didn't know, we didn't give it. Machine can give us new results. Machine can learn from the data, from the input and the output patterns, and give us a new suggestion on the data we enter to it. So what are the aspects of artificial intelligence? For now, we can talk in the umbrella of artificial intelligence as 2 parts: weak artificial intelligence and strong artificial intelligence. The weak AI can do particular functions of human, like smart speakers, self-driving car. I think everything we do until today, like Siri and all the other applications that's most trending in the world, they are all weak artificial intelligence. Everything you see today, everything the big companies are developing, they are all weak. The weakest part of artificial intelligence, all the development we see until today. But what is the strong artificial intelligence? It's about creating something exactly like human, can do the same functions as we do, like what it can see, it can think, it can feel. If any machine can do this, it will be a strong artificial intelligence. But is it available today? No. It's not available. It's not even existed until today. But most of the companies are actually developing something like this. So weak artificial intelligence is an artificial intelligence that covers specific functionalities which human can do. And the majority of recent technologies advancement has been occurred in this area. But the strong artificial intelligence can do anything a human can do. An artificial intelligence that can perform all the activities which a human can perform, and all of this. So what's the value created by artificial intelligence? Retail, travel, transport, automotive, and all what you see in the screen now, it's the value created by artificial intelligence. So you can see that like $0.8 trillion has been created in the retail part out of artificial intelligence. And you can see that 480 billion dollar has been created out of travel because using artificial intelligence in the field. So how artificial intelligence can be used in travel? You can see that all the application of travel, like booking, like Ajuda and things like this. I'm not giving ads on something like this. I'm just giving examples. So when you go to Booking and Agoda, you search for a trip. You are trying to travel from Cairo to Maldives, for example. So you are searching for a flight. Okay, you searched for the flight. You didn't satisfy. You didn't things you think is most satisfying for you. So you left the application and you didn't book anything. But when you do this, you will start finding ads on the thing. You will start finding emails from other applications about this. You will start finding ads on everywhere, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. You will start finding some ads about flights from Cairo to Maldives, and the trips in Maldives, and hotels in Maldives, and car booking in Maldives. You will start seeing ads everywhere about the thing you are searching about. So you will have a lot of options about things you may didn't reach it if you didn't search about it. So I think someone has raised his hand, but I don't know. I don't know if you all have access to mic. So if you have access to mic, you can open it and talk to me, or drop it on the thread, and we will answer all the questions at the end of the session. So everything you see in this list is using artificial intelligence, or we use artificial intelligence on it, so we can create value out of it. And this is the value created by artificial intelligence is in this field for now. So how will it be in like 10 years or 20 years, or for our grand ancestors? We will see this in the future. So common aspects of artificial intelligence, I think you have heard about these three aspects a lot of time. Artificial intelligence is the big umbrella. It's just the title of the field, but it's not a technology we do or something we do. Artificial intelligence is just the concept, the umbrella we are working under it. But what we actually do is machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence. When we can learn a machine, we can use the machine to learn from our data, and then the machine can give us new expectations and new things to do, or suggestions, or some decision. The suggestions that came out of the machine, we can use it to take some decisions in companies or in market field or something like this. But the deep learning is the most maybe difficult, or maybe a complicated part of artificial intelligence, because it's deeply understanding the data without knowing where we go. Most of the time when we use deep learning, I don't have target. I just have data, and I want to learn the machine, or the machine want to learn from this data. So it's mostly complicated than machine learning, and it's a subset of machine learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So you have to learn machine learning to be able to do deep learning. So I see a lot of people is typing in the chat, but I can't I will answer all the questions after we finish the presentation. I will try to finish in a little time so we can answer all the questions in the chat. So the problem definition and resources vs solution. So depending on the resources I have, I will decide which part I will use, machine learning or deep learning. So what will I use? I will think of the data I have and the machine that I use. Machine, I mean by machine, the hardware I'm using. So if I am using my own laptop that I am presenting this presentation on, I actually have a MacBook Pro. So the computational power of MacBook Pro is very high, but I have another computer, which is already Windows. So I can do machine learning with this because the hardware efficiency in it is very low. It keeps dropping, it keeps flashing out. So I can't use Windows to do my work, but I can use my MacBook Pro because it's already have a very computational power. So build on my capacity and my hardware, I will decide what I will use. So if I have a very strong hardware and a lot of data, I can use it in deep learning. I can do a deep learning model. I can train my machine in a deep learning model and build models on my own. The difference between machine learning and deep learning is machine learning already we have models. The people created machine learning have already created models that we can deploy. We can just give the models that's already trained and we retrain it on the data we have. Then it will give us results. And there is a lot of talking about this. It's a field in artificial intelligence, a very big umbrella in artificial intelligence. If you want to be a machine learning engineer, you will have to go through a very long journey. But in general, there are already existing machine learning models that we can use, but all of them are different. Every machine learning model is different from the other. So you can't use just to go in and give them data, use any model, and you will get out results. No one will complain about it. So actually, there are already existing machine learning models and we use it, but every model is different from the other. But in the deep learning part, you don't have a lot of existing models. You will have to build the model on your own. So how can you build the model in your own? Actually, by learning the data. You will learn the data. You will know the inputs and the outputs you are expecting, and you will start creating your networks or your models built on this. You will something like neural networks, for example. Neural network, you will have to decide all the activation functions, and at first the type of network you are going to use, and a lot of things like this. I don't want to go in a lot of technicalities because this is an introduction to the field. So this is the difference. So training data set in machine learning is very small. In machine learning, the data has to be small, but in deep learning, it has to be a very big data. That's where the computational power, the higher computational power come. I have to have actually a higher computational power when I'm using deep learning because I have a lot of data to train. So if my computational power is slow or I don't mean it's tiny, I can't deploy a machine learning or a deep learning at all. So if you want to choose your own feature on the data, you have to do machine learning, but in deep learning, you can't choose your own data because actually there is a lot of features. There are a lot of features and you can't just pick some features in it. The deep learning is very complex, so you have to use all the feature and make the model learn from all the feature. As I was saying, a number of classifiers available in machine learning. There is a lot of classifiers and mainly a lot of models available. But in deep learning, there is like tiny or few models available, but most of the time you will have to build your own model. You will have to build your own classifier to make your model learn. And training time, of course, in machine learning, because my data is small and there is already existing classifiers and there is already few features and depends on my computational power as well, as the training time will be short. But in deep learning, the training time will be so long. So maybe for some reasons, and in some cases, a deep learning model maybe stay 2 or 3 days learning. You can run the model and you will stay like 2 days until the model finishes its learning and give you some results. And maybe in the end, you will find some wrong or mistake outputs in this, and you will start again. So how can we distinguish between different species and how machines do? When I look to a picture like this, you will see that this is a cat and this is a dog. We are humans and we can distinguish between things, anything we can see in the street, in home, anything, even in my mobile phone, any photo I can see, any image I can see. I can distinguish, I can know what's in the photo and what I see right now. I see flower, I see book, I see papers. I can distinguish anything because I am human and God has already created us like this. We have brains and we can think, we can distinguish between things. But the machines we as humans created can distinguish between things. So how can we make the machine distinguish between things? It will be using things like image recognition, computer vision, and things like this. We train the data, we train the machines, these machines, and mostly computers, we train them on the image of these creatures. So I will give the machine like 1,000 pictures for cat and 1,000 picture for dog. And the machine can learn from this picture the shape and the features and the zeros and ones of this picture to distinguish in next times if this a cat or this is a dog. Built on what? Built on the image, built on the pixels of the image. So it's a very sensitive part in the field. So things like this, machine learning. What I was saying, for now, I give my machine a set of data that have cats, dogs, and I don't know, it's eagle or something like this. I don't know what's the name in English. But for now, we give the data a set of, we give the machine a set of data for different creatures. This set of data have to be balanced, have to be, if I give it 100 image for a creature, the other one has to be the same size, or mostly they have to be balanced. You know what I am saying. So you will train the data on the model for the machine. Then the machine can extract some features from this image. And when I give it, yani, after the machine extracts these features from this image, it will build a classification model and it will have like equations that it will use to build its expectations. So after extraction or learning, the machine will build some classification for these features are for cat, and these features are for dog, and these features are for parrot. So it's parrot. So when I give it another input, a new input that doesn't exist in the original form, in the original set of data. So if you see this test data, it's not actually like the training data that I give, but it's a cat. So will the machine distinguish it right or no? It will distinguish it right if I do a good machine learning model. If I use a classification model that suits the problem I'm talking about. So it will classify it as a cat. And if this happens, so okay, I am doing a good job. My machine is learning in a good way, and I will keep developing. I will keep giving it a new data for different features or different aspects for the same creature. So it will distinguish this creature in any position it can see. Okay, so this is machine learning. But what is deep learning? In deep learning, I I won't use a classification model. I won't use a very specific model that already existed. I will build my own model. So my output will be mostly more accurate. So I'll build my own neural network. So you actually, I think everyone here knows that we as humans, we have already brains. God has created us with brains, and these brains have neurons. Neurons, I don't know, الخلايا العصبية يعني. Neural networks as already a communication for these neurons in our brains. So we build a neural network for the machine learning or the machine we are talking about. You build it, a network, and you will have to build the network. You have to do all the activation functions or everything, bias and weights, everything in the network. You will have to decide what every input and how every input can go from this neuron to the other neuron. So if you can see these lines or arrows from every image in the input data, it's going to the input layer in the neural network. In this input layer, you will have to run an activation function for the network itself. And there is a lot of activation functions, so you have to choose the right activation function for the problem. And most of the time, it's about try and error. You have to try a lot of activation functions, and you have to decide what's better after the learning process. So every image have an input to each neuron in the input layer, and if each neuron in the input layer have another input to the middle layers on the, or maybe it's most of the time called hidden layers. So each input in the input layer go to another neuron in the hidden layer, and we will continue, etc., until the last layer when we can conclude the classes itself. So here we have two classes. It's the output layer. This class will be like cat, and this class will be like a dog. And built on the test data we are using, we will have some output from the pools we have. So when I give it any new data, it will expect it's this class or the other class. Built on what? Built on the trainings that it had done in the neural network. And most of the time, the hidden layer may be like 100 hidden layer. It's what you are seeing on the screen now, it's just a mimication, just a very tiny example to explain what's happening. But the hidden layers have to be very, not very, yani, most of the time when it's more simple, it's more good. But if you have a big problem, you will have to do a lot of hidden layers. You will use maybe recurrent neural networks, and you will go vice versa on the data you are using or in the network you are using. You can go forward and backward until your model learn. For example, when you have an exam, you will read some papers, you will read some articles, you will read some maybe explanation for the thing you are going to be examined on it. So you can start reading the book from the left side to the right side. And when you finish, you may start by reversing the book again and reversing it again and reversing it again. Why? Because you have an exam. That's what's happening in deep learning. And mostly in the recurrent neural network, you will have to go forward and then backward until the model learn from the data and have good patterns that it can build the decision, the final decision on it. So this is mostly a very big vision on the deep learning workflow and how neural networks can work in this field. So in this part, we will be talking about the applications of artificial intelligence. So we said that there is machine learning and there is deep learning, and we explain the difference and how machine can learn in both the aspects. For now, we will have another explanation for the subfields on each part of this. So machine learning already we say that deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So one of the applications of machine learning is actually deep learning. And there is another part that supervise or supervised and unsupervised machine learning. Supervised, it's actually talking about human supervision. So if you are supervising your model, and if you are giving it data and the target, and you will learn the model where to go. So this is a supervised machine learning, a human supervised. And if you are not supervising it, if you are not going to give the model or the machine the expected output, the data have to at first be things like clustering, collecting the data in specific aspects, depends on the features on it. So it's unsupervised machine learning. And if you, something that came in my mind now, it's the generative artificial intelligence. If you have something like this, and I don't know if I can explain it in a very good way for you, but generative artificial intelligence is about learning new outputs. If you give, for now, the example in the screen in front of you is I give the model a set of data that have features for dogs and cats. But what will happen if I give this model a new input, or I give it an image for a parrot, and I want to have an output. I want to have an output that it's not a cat and it's not a dog. It's another class that the model hasn't trained on it. It's a very complex part in artificial intelligence, and it's the most trending in nowadays. Generative artificial intelligence, people are talking about it so much. So learning a new object and classifying it that it's not something that I learned, you wanna, the model give you the output that it's a parrot, or at least it's not a class in the data. So this is a generative artificial intelligence that it has, we have to use a very higher computational power to do something like this. So it just came in my mind, so I wanna give a quick example on it. So going back to the applications of artificial intelligence, we talked about machine learning, then we will talk about natural language processing. So NLP, it's natural language processing. We have a lot of application on it, like text generation. When you are using your phone and you are typing something in the phone, you are chatting with a friend or searching for something, you will start finding that words are being generated when you are typing your email. When you write hi, the email will type the name of the person you're talking about. When you type I hope, the email will suggest the continue, the rest of the sentence for you. Like, I hope you have a good day, or I hope this email finds you well. The email will suggest this for you. So how this happens is about text generation. So models are learning from our behavior and start suggesting new things to us, or maybe it's not new, it's only built on our behavior. The next thing is question answering. It's actually what's happening in ChatGPT. When you go to ChatGPT and ask about anything, it will give you, maybe most of the time, the most exact solution or the most exact answer for the question you are talking. It's about question answering in NLP. And content extraction, classification, and machine translation, it's most of the time what happens in Google Translation. When you go to Google Translate, you can start typing something and see the translation. It's very normal, but when talking to Google Translate, you can use it to talk to anyone who is a stranger. If you if you met a Spanish person and you are Arabic, you can speak only Arabic and English, and he can speak Spanish only. So how can you communicate? You can use Google Translate. You can just open the mic and start listening, make the application listen to what he is saying and translate it into English or Arabic, build on what you know, and start talk to the application. the application will translate what you are saying, and then he can hear what you were saying in the language that he can understand. So this is machine translation. And there is a lot of applications that's most of the time easier than this, but it's just an example. So speech is about changing or translating speech into text and text into speech. It's also a type of artificial intelligence application in the speech part. So what's actually happening in Google Translate when you speak to the application, and what you are saying is being typed and translated, it's speech to text. And what it's actually translated, you can make it say it loud, and this is text to speech. And we can use this part in a lot of applications nowadays, because we do applications for people who can't hear, people who can't talk, people who can't see even. So speech to text and text to speech is a very trending part nowadays as well. And in the vision part, we will have to be talking about the most using part nowadays as well, is image recognition and machine vision. Image recognition is to learn the machine how to understand the context in any image it sees, and machine vision to learn a machine to know in real time. So for example, in airport, there are cameras everywhere. These cameras have to know the behavior of the passengers, anyone who come to the airport, and also the machines that the cameras that's already on boarding, and when you are going to the airplane itself, you have to put your bags under a machine, and these cameras inside this machine have to learn what's inside your bag, because if you have anything that it's not allowed to go to the airplane, you will have to stop and take this out. So this is machine vision. This camera has to know the thing that's actually inside the bag in a real time, in this moment. You want to take a picture of the bag and give it to machine, and the machine can extract things out of this image. No, it has to learn in real time. And another example is something I actually did in a project. It has to be, or it's something like a machine, and this machine have to go through any field, in agriculture field, I say, and this machine have to scan all the plants in the field, and have to know if any plant of them has a disease in it. So it has to be in a real-time detection. It has to see it right now and decide if there is a disease in it, and it will notify the gardener or the engineer that's supposed to be responsible of this field. It has to notify that there is a disease right here, and you will have to do 1, 2, 3. So it's all built on this model or this machine that works on the field and decide, or it's not deciding, I already trained it on a data, as a data for all the diseases that can be existed, and it will scan all the plants, all the, I don't know the word. It has to scan the field and know if there's a disease on it. So if there is a disease, we can actually take an action in the actual moment, in the real time. So the disease won't spread in all the field, and all the crop will be gone down. So if we have some kind of an early detection of something that's happening in a real time, we can take a faster decision, and we can save the crop. Before this, in years, people didn't know something like this. I want to give an example for bananas. The trees of banana, there is a disease that has been spread in Egypt for years now. This disease, if it came to a field of trees of banana, this disease will eat it, and the farmer will never know it's actually exists if he is not scanning the field every day, because it can start in the first tree today, and in 1 week it will take all the garden, all the trees. So all the trees will be dead, and you, the farmer, have to cut them out after waiting for 3 years for the crops to come out. He maybe have to cut them all because there is a disease that's actually spread. So an early detection for something like this will save, for example, millions for people who have a lot of trees and a big garden. So it's a very important thing, an early detection for anything. Heart disease, like example in human, heart disease detection, اكتشاف الأمراض القلبية. It's a very sensitive part. In the time of Corona itself, the world most killer was the heart disease, not Corona. So it was a very interesting part that I have done something like expecting heart disease and early detection for heart diseases before the person die. The early detection for any disease is most of the time a very critical part. So another applications of artificial intelligence is planning and expert system and robotics, of course. Robotics in our universities in Egypt nowadays are making some kind of a robot that can walk, a robot that a line follower robot, an arm robot, and things like this. And it's not artificial at all. The artificial intelligence in robotics is doing something like a robot that can do some more smart tasks like washing, like taking the laundry from somewhere to another where, and take decision in critical part. If a machine or a robot can take decisions and act on it, it's artificial. But if it only do some tasks that already I programmed it, I programmed the machine on these tasks, so it's not intelligent. It's just doing the task it's assigned to. So this is what I was saying, the parts of the image recognition itself. I said, in general, the machine will have to know what's in the image, but there is some subfields in image recognition, like semantic segmentation, like segmenting all the specific parts in the image. Like here, I segmented the grass, the cat, the tree, the sky. Every part in the image has its own block and its own feature and its own color. This is semantic segmentation. It's actually most of the time what's being used in the cameras on the airport that I was talking about, but it's like a machine vision, not image recognition, but they use semantic segmentation on something like this, about segmenting all the metals, all the rough things that's actually in your bags before going to the airplane. Classification and localization is about this image has a cat on it, and I have to localize this cat. So if you are something like in the streets, there is radars everywhere, and the radar has to take a picture for each car. It's board itself, the board that has numbers of the car. So the machine has to do a real-time detection. It's not image recognition as well. It's machine vision. The radar has to know the part and the exact location of the board on the image itself. So it's a real-time example for this. So here we localize that there is only one cat in this image, and we localize it. We know the location of the cat in the image. And here we do something like object detection. We know that this is a dog and this is a dog, but in another space. So these are two dogs, but every one of them is different from the other. And this is a cat. So we do an object detection in this image. And the last thing is instance segmentation, about segmenting specific parts in the image. So the difference between semantic segmentation and the instance segmentation is, in semantic segmentation, we segmented all the parts of the image into segments. But in the instance segmentation, we know or we wanna do segments for the actual parts in the image. Like we here know that there is two dogs and one cat, but the thing is in background, it's not important for me. like localizing people or segmented people in the street. I am what's interesting to me is to know how much or how many people is actually in the street right now. So I will do instant segmentation and count the segments I have. I don't care about cars. I don't care about bicycles. I don't care about anything other than humans in this street. So this is instant segmentation. And here is some applications for computer vision or some subfields in computer vision. We can use computer vision in scientific research, like a long time ago when a person was actually in a lab and something occurred, like I have a new disease and I don't know where this organ or this tiny content or tiny creature, which field or which part of science it's actually under. So I will start searching on a very large book, like a book that have 1,000 page for 1,000 image for creatures like this to know what species I'm talking about. So this what was happening a long time ago. But what happens today is that we have machines. This machine, like a microscope, we can put the thing I'm talking about under the microscope, and the microscope will highlight it, and I will know the features of it. And computers that's linked on this microscope, the computer will give me the exact name and the exact features of the creature I'm talking about or I'm searching about. So it will happen in seconds. How? Because this computer has already trained in all the origins and all the species I may be searching about. So it will give me the thing I am searching about. And if it's new, it's like Corona, for example. Corona has been a new thing to science. It hasn't been existed before. So they took time until they could learn it and make a vaccine for it. So another thing is about natural resource management. What you are seeing here is a drone. We can use a drone in like some agriculture fields to irrigate the plants. I actually work in a project like this, but not in Egypt because drones are not allowed in Egypt. The other part is protection and security. The cameras I was talking about, the cameras in the airport, the cameras in the streets, the radars itself, all of this is using computer vision to segment people, to segment car boards, to segment some kind of feelings. Maybe when you go to bank, the camera in this bank will photograph you and know if you are a customer to the bank, they will know. And if you are a new customer, they will know. And if you are angry, you came with an issue, a big issue, they will know from the camera. They will know from your face and your behavior in the bank when you enter the bank itself. So some cameras do something like this. And of course, in marketing, unfortunately, most of the people don't know that our phones is being tracked. So when you enter or when you install things like Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, and things like this, you give them an access to camera, you give them an access to gallery, you give them an access to everything actually in your phone. But what you don't know is they are using this. They are using your camera, they are using your galleries, they are using everything because you are already being tracked. They already learn your behavior and they know you, so they can use this data on marketing. So you have to be very careful about it. Machine vision is about making the machine, it's something like, it's actually a part of computer vision. So machine vision is about creating a machine that do specific tasks like guidance in this part in some companies or something like this. The machines can guide the programmer and the engineer to do some tasks in gouging. It's not an artificial intelligence task most of the time. Filling the tubes with anything. And defect detection, it's very artificial part. It's actually using in China and Japan most of the time in the big factories, while using the boards and the PCB designs to do some boards for phones and things like this. A specific machine is supposed to do a detection for the defects in any board. So when you use a phone, when you buy a phone from any store, you will like finding that this there is a defect in the phone is a very very far something to being expected, because you know and you trust that these companies have do all of their efforts to defect detection. You will make sure that the phone is being is in a good way and in a good condition. And packaging inspection. So maybe the last part in this introduction is natural language processing that we talked about it earlier. Natural language processing is a thing that's being used in ChatGPT and used in Google Translation and used everywhere. Sorry for this. Natural language processing, as I was saying, is a part that we use in ChatGPT. So and any other applications that use our voice. It's about text classification, information retrieval, retrieving any information about a specific topic. Natural language generation, you can give him a topic and it will he will or it's not he, it's just an application or a model. It will give you a generated article about this specific title you are talking about. And natural language understanding is about giving it a new, something new, and it will have to understand the context and maybe do some project built on it, or give you definitions or give you suggestions or give you anything you want about it. It's natural language understanding. All of these aspects goes under the umbrella of natural language processing. And the last part is speech recognition. When you all what we are saying as humans, we speak, and these speeches are our voices are being translated as an analog audio, and this analog is being translated into using analog to digital converters to a pattern, and the machines can know this pattern and save it. So you can use your speech for something like opening the phone, or like talking to Siri. When you open your iPhone and you want to train Siri to your voice, you will have to say like 5 or 6 sentences to Siri. So Siri can know your language, can know how you are talking. And when you anytime go to your phone and want to use Siri, you will just say, "Hey Siri," and Siri will talk to you and do what you are doing. Actually, this happens on my phone right now. When I said "Hi Siri," so it came out here, and she is waiting for me to give it something like an order, or like, "Hey Siri, open the phone." "Hey Siri, do anything," but I'm not opening my phone right now because we are in the session. So this is an artificial intelligence task as well. Siri know your language and will build her behavior on what you are saying. But if my mother came from outside and said, "Hey Siri," will Siri respond to it? No, Siri will only respond to its owner. So it's also an artificial intelligence application. So for now, we finished the brief introduction about artificial intelligence, fields, and aspects. I wanna do some question answering right now before we're talking about social entrepreneurship. So if anyone have some question about the whole part I was explaining like all the aspects and fields of artificial intelligence, you can type it right now in the question part, and I will answer it before we go to the part of social entrepreneurship, because I think our session is will be come to an end in a few time. So the first question, hi Ola, can you re-explain the image recognition part kindly? You can use Arabic. Is using Arabic, it's a fiction. So okay. اوكي انا هجاوب بالعربي على يوسف لان هو طلب دوت. الايمج ريكوجنيشن هو عباره عن ان انا بخلي الماشين بتاعتي تفهم الكونتنت اللي موجود جوه الصوره. فانا عندي دلوقتي some aspects او some fields من الايمج ريكوجنيشن. انا عايز اعمل ايه في الصوره اللي قدامي دي؟ انا عايز اخلي الماشين تفهم السيجمنتس اللي جوه الصوره، تعرفني في كام سيجمنت جواها، في مثلا هنا قطه، في هنا جراس، في هنا سكاي، في هنا كذا. ولا عايز اعمل لوكاليزيشن لحاجه معينه انا بدور عليها، يعني انا بدور على شخص معين، فانا عايز اعرف الشخص ده موجود فين جوه الكراود اللي انا بدور عليه، فانا عايز اعمل له لوكاليزيشن ان هو موجود في الجزء دوت مثلا. او ان انا عايز اعمل in general object detection. انا عندي مجموعه من القطط والكلاب موجودين جوه ساحه كبيره، الساحه دي فيها مجموعه من الحيوانات كتير جدا، بس انا عايز اعمل detection للاوبجكتس اللي هي دوجز اند كات في الايمج دي. فدوت اوبجكت ديتكشن، يا اما اعمل لسبيسيفيك اوبجكت، يا اما انا عايز اعمل اوبجكت ديتكشن لكل الاوبجكتس اللي موجوده جوه الايمج، يقول لي ده كات، ده دوج، ده بارot، ده هيومن، وهكذا. الانستنس سيجمنتيشن ان انا عايز احدد الاجزاء المعينه. انستنس حد هيقول لي ان في مشكله دلوقتي ما ينفعش نتكلم بالعربي، بس هو طلب.
ايوه دي فعلا مشكله كتير جدا تبقى بالنسبه لي. هو اوريدي كتب انستراكشنز بالانجلش.
هو اللي طلب ان انا اتكلم بالعربي عشان هو تقريبا ما كانش فاهم.
not allowed.
بس okay يوسف, I hope you understand. I don't know if there is another questions, so I can type the answer for you. Okay, we can for now talk about social entrepreneurship. So I will give you a question and you can write your answers in the chat. What do you think is social entrepreneurship in the MENA region? What's the first thing that come to your mind when someone says a word of social entrepreneurship in the MENA region? You can type your answers in the chat. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when someone says the word social entrepreneurship in the MENA region? I'm waiting for your answer. I don't see any answers being typed on the chat, so I can explain it myself. So social entrepreneurship in the MENA region is about what we are seeing nowadays, and we are seeing everywhere in any summit or any event. We see hundreds of startups everywhere. Everything that you think about, there is a startup that doing this thing. So this is social entrepreneurship. We can, in social entrepreneurship, we see what's the different problems that's facing our society, built on the country I'm living in. And I will decide what's the expected solution to do something like, to solve this problem. Like, for example, I see that there is a problem of air pollution in Egypt. So how can I solve this problem? This is social entrepreneurship. You will have to decide a solution for a specific problem that's facing your society, and you will use technology to solve this problem. Using a technology to solve any problem, because we are talking about artificial intelligence, so using artificial intelligence and any kind of machine learning or deep learning on it, like computer vision, image recognition, anything that we were talking about, it's using AI in the social entrepreneurship. So for example, once upon a time, I made a project about recognizing the air pollution aspects in Egypt. And built on this, we will recommend the user of our application to plant something in its area. So this person will have like a friend on his own. This friend is giving him oxygen, and this friend is a plant, actually. So this will minimize the percentage of air pollution in the area this person is living in. So you solve the problem using a specific and a simple task, not going to the big companies, not by going to the government and taking big actions like planting trees in the streets and stop building bridges and something like this. You don't do this. You go to every individual person and try to solve the problem from the people themselves, not using a very big decision with government and these complicated stuff. So the evolution in AI in the MENA region has been very rapid in the past years. So all the startups we can see nowadays in Egypt and the MENA region, everyone is trying to use technology to solve a social entrepreneurship or a social problem. If you have any example for a startup, you know, which I actually do this. Please don't impose all those restrictions for her to this meeting in Arabic. Thank you, Mohammed. But actually, it's okay. It's okay to speak in English, and in the end of the session, we can maybe after the session end we can speak for like 10 minutes in Arabic to answer things in more easier way for you to understand. So I just explained the big part of the definition of AI social entrepreneurship. It's something like the application I was talking about. It's about expecting the air pollution aspects or the air pollution percentage in every part, and the application will suggest the user a specific plant to be planted in the area he is living in, and this plant will give him the percentage or the exact percentage of oxygen for him to be breathing good, so the person can breathe, and the air pollution percentage will be a bit less lower or fewer, so the person can live and breathe in appropriate way. So another development in this application was using, besides using artificial intelligence to suggest the plant, we will, or we have been using virtual reality. This virtual reality was for the person. You will have to open your phone and just take your camera or front your camera to the part you will be using, or the part you are planning the planet on it. So you, for example, the application has suggested you to plant a flower or a specific part of tree in this place. So you will open the camera of your phone in this place, and on the application you will see here the planet you are going to plant. So you will see on your camera the exact shape of the tree on this part of your home, how it will look like, and this will be a very good thing for you to know what you are planting and what will be the shape. It will be good, it will be fitting, and if no, you will not plan it. And after this, the application will take you to some stores to buy the stuff you need to plant this specific tree and specific plant in your home or in your garden. So it's all about using artificial intelligence and virtual reality to solve a specific problem by going to the individual people, not by going to governments and big companies and take a very big cycle of, paper stuff and the cycle in Egypt. I'm not going to talk a lot about this because we know all the limitations that we are going to talk about it right now. So I said the project we were trying to use, but have it been easy? Have it been easy to do something like this in Egypt? No, not at all. Using artificial intelligence in Egypt is very challenging these days because most of the data are confidential. Governments are not allowing us to use data and grab this data from online websites or something like this. So you may have a very big solution and a very smart solution. You will have the model, you will have the all the technologies you will have, but while implementing it in the real time, you will have a big limitations and a big challenging about data ethics and something like this, like using artificial intelligence in healthcare. In healthcare, it's a very sensitive part. You won't be able to use a model in hospitals and something like this in Egypt because it's very sensitive, and not only in Egypt, in everywhere. And everywhere using AI in healthcare, it's very sensitive because people's lives will be built on the decision a machine will take. So it's very sensitive. The ethics of this part is very crucial for everyone. So when you go to a doctor to examine something, if this doctor don't have the enough experience to classify the exact disease you will have, you want to trust this doctor. What about a machine? If you go to the machine and you want the machine to do something like examining you and explain what you are having, will you trust the machine? No. It's about people themselves. People won't trust a machine on their lives. We even don't trust doctors most of the time. So it's a very challenging part in the MENA region nowadays. And because of the government constraints and things like this, building a solution using artificial intelligence have these challenging, but most of the time, the most successful entrepreneurship ideas and startups will go out of these challenges. When you know the challenge, when you know what we are facing and what everyone actually is facing, and how to go over this, how to go over the limitations and the challenges itself, you will know, you will succeed, you will know how to go over it, and you will know how to build something in real, not just an idea or something that will be in your brain and not going out because of the limitation. You will have to go out and start creating instead of staying in because there is actually a lot of limitations inside. So the limitations and the challenging in brief I was talking about, like the paperwork in Egypt and the MENA region, the limitations of data and the ethics of data itself, and the people not trusting the machine. So these are the most four challenging and limitations parts in the social entrepreneurship in the MENA region. If you are a startup and if you are trying to solve like an economic or anything that's facing, any problems that's facing your society, if you know these four problems, and if you know, I'm not going to say problem, like we can say limitations or challenging, as we are saying, if you know how to defeat this limitation, how to go cross them, and how to succeed where they actually exist, you will know how to succeed. You will know how to go over him and do something that's actually great using artificial intelligence. And the last thing is venture creation of AI in the fourth industrial revolution. So in this part, most of the people are saying that in years, artificial intelligence will be replacing human. So what do you think if this happen? So will machines or will artificial intelligence be replacing human? You can just type on the chat yes or no. Will machines or will artificial intelligence be replacing human? I want you to type what you think on the chat, yes or no. Will machines replace human or will artificial intelligence replace human? So I see yes, no, no, it will not. I want you all to answer this question. Will machines replace human? Will artificial intelligence replace human in one day? Okay, it just changed us. Okay. So I see most of you are saying, you know, 3 has been typing no and 1 has been typing yes. So what I am saying and what my vision as Ola, will machines replace human one day and will artificial intelligence replace humans one day? The answer is actually no. Machines will never replace us and artificial intelligence will never replace us because we actually build it. We actually build artificial intelligence. If we are the developers who build the AI models itself and we are already know how to model it, how to train it, how to put some constraints on it, it will never replace us. But it may, as someone is saying, Muhammad Abu Zaid will replace some jobs but can't replace humans. Actually, yes, it will replace some jobs. Like what? Like most of the people will go in conflicts when I'm saying this, but when talking about front-end developing, when we talk about things like graphic design and things like this. For now, machine learning and deep learning models and real applications like ChatGPT and things like this can do these tasks. You can go to ChatGPT, but the most updated version of it. You can give it an explanation of the design you want, and it will give you the design, the exact design with the logos and everything you want to put in it. But you have to be smart and you have to be very good in explaining everything. I think one of my fellow friends or fellow friends has been talking about ChatGPT prompting, about how to type and how to explain what you want to do to ChatGPT itself and any other applications that's using artificial intelligence to do some jobs. So you will have to be very smart about typing and prompting what you actually think about to the application you are using, and it will do what you are saying. So will it replace all the graphic designers in the world? No, of course, no, it will not happen because every big company, it will need a graphic designer, it will need a marketing specialist who does these tasks and supervise these tasks. Any CEO won't be free to do things like this. The CEO of a big company, like for example, Facebook. Facebook will be the CEO like Mark Zuckerberg itself or the manager under him. Will them be free to do things like marketing or do the things of visuals and the stuff we see on Facebook? So will these people will be free for things like this, or will they focus on the big investments and things like this? So they will focus on something, and the managers on a specific departments will focus on something else. we can't manage a company by using an artificial intelligence model. So we will always need all the jobs. We will always need a front-end developer and a back-end developer and mobile developer and the marketeers and the digital artists and everyone. We will need all these people to do specific tasks because every CEO and every manager won't be free to do all the tasks, and he won't trust a machine to do all these tasks for him. So we can, this will happen like limiting the number of people who are working in this department, because one developer or one graphic designer can do the task of 10 graphic designers using technologies like this. So if you wanna, if you are a graphic designer, for example, and I don't want to be talking about graphic designer itself. I'm just giving an example. This can be applied on all the tasks and all the jobs that actually existing nowadays, like data analysis, data scientists, machine learning developers, any jobs that's actually existing these days and is being run on a machine. This can be replaced by a machine itself, because the machines can actually learn our behavior and do it itself if I give it the specific and right order to do. So if you are doing your job in a very smart way and you can use and deploy the technology for your sake, it will never replace you. So this is the answer for the question, will AI replace human or not? It won't replace you if you are smart enough to use it. So Yusuf is saying, from my view, it will just change a market and requirements of jobs. In another word, one graphic designer can do 5 graphic designers task. Exactly this, what I am saying right now. One graphic designer can do the job of like 5, or I was saying 10 graphic designers. Why? And how? Using technology. You can, this graphic designer and this developer can use the technology and the resources that's actually existing nowadays to do the task of another designers. And it has to be up to date. You have to be up to date. You have to be, you have to know everything that's coming and trending in the technology. You have to read articles and read updates every day, because this field, artificial intelligence itself, is being updated every day. And every second we are saying there is developers and there is thousands of scientists that works behind the scene and developing and creating something new. So there are hundreds of papers in this field that are being released every day, and you have to be up to date. You have to read all of them. You have to search. You have to adapt yourself to the changes that happens every. I was going to say every year, but it's actually changes, and adapting to these challenges has to be happening every day. Every day you will have to wake up in the morning and see what's coming today, what's new in the board, and you will see, you will find things new in the world. You will have to adapt to everything. When, like we in Egypt adapted to the crisis that happens in the economy part, you will have to adapt for or adapt to what's happening in the world, what's happening in the field of technology itself and artificial intelligence in specific. So it's being changed every day, and you have to adapt. Why you have to adapt? Because it's a fourth industrial revolution. When we talk about the second industrial revolution, the factories has to fire most of the people who works in these factories, because something has happened. Machine has entered the factory, and one machine can do the task of 100 people. One machine can do the task of 100 people in fewer times than them, because if 100 people is standing on a line, a factory line, and they are like gouging in one day like 1,000 bottle. A machine can do this in 1 hour. A machine can replace 100 people and can do them task in 1 hour and better than them with a very accurate and very specific revolution in it. So has the world ended on this part? Have everyone that they were fired from these factories and they will go back to their homes? Have the life ended? Have they died? No. Why? Because a new task and a new job has been created. Because this machine that has been created and replaced a human, this machine has someone to supervise it, has to have someone to maintain it, have to has someone to create it at first place, and someone to program it, and someone to develop it, and someone to do R&D, and some people to supervise. So new jobs has been created: electrical engineer, electronic engineer, machine learning engineer, steam engineer, mechanical engineer, and all these words and these stuff has been created because the machines, these people are the people who created the machine itself, but a lot of tasks and a lot of job has been created because the machine exists in factories, has to have a lot of people who supervise it. This what happens in the second industrial revolution, and before it what happens in the first industrial revolution, when they were using I don't know in Arabic, I don't know in English, الفحم. They were using it in the fewer days before, in the fewer years before it in factories, and after the first industrial revolution, they started to use steam and started to use after the soil, and for now they are using electricity and using a newer ways of electricity, like using renewable energy, like steam energy, and water energy, and wind energy, and solar cells. So people nowadays are using these parts because every day everything is being evaluated, because anything that's being changed or developed, it won't stop the world from moving on. So what's happening today? People are saying artificial intelligence will replace human because it's intelligent. It can take my task. No, it won't take your job. It won't take your task if you are smart enough to deploy it and make it work under your supervision and use it to develop yourself. So if you do this, it will never replace you. If you kept that, if you kept up with it and with this rush and development, it will never replace you. So this about venture creation of AI in the fourth industrial revolution. I think for now, I finished talking about these topics. If you have specific questions in this part about AI and social entrepreneurship in Egypt or in the MENA region, you can talk to me. I actually have some experience in Egypt and Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates about the creation of things like this in the region. So if you have specific tasks about this stuff, you can type it on the question in the question part, and I will answer them. The last thing is some open opportunities in the region you can take for now. The first of them will be actually Zaka.ai. It's you can go to our website. I said I'm working as an AI instructor at Zaka, and we have a lot of programs in artificial intelligence, like machine learning, deep learning, data engineering, and data modeling. We have a lot of certificates in artificial intelligence, and we have hundreds of partners. We have a lot of opportunities. You can go to the website Zaka.ai, and you will find a lot of open courses and open opportunities in the field. You can register to any one of them, and one of the team will contact you. And actually, for now, they have an open opportunity as a scholarship for Lebanese people who live in Lebanon. They have a lot of opportunities for them. So if you are living there, you can go to the website and check this. The second opportunity, it's actually an online course in Coursera. You will find it in Coursera, and you will find things like this in Udemy and all these applications. But in Coursera, it's called the Machine Learning Specialization. It's by Andrew Ng. Andrew is giving a very good specializing a very good course in machine learning in Coursera, and there is also another course that's called Mathematics for Machine Learning. So if actually you want to go in the learning journey of artificial intelligence, you have to learn a lot of things. You will start by learning Python. You will have to learn mathematics in a specific probability, statistics, linear algebra, and then start learning data warehousing, and database, and data pre-processing, and exploratory data analysis. All this stuff about data you will have to learn. Then you can start by learning machine learning. What are the different machine learning models, supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning. Then you will have to learn neural networks, and then you can go to the umbrella of deep learning and all the subfields of deep learning. You can go to image recognition, computer vision, machine vision, speech, natural language processing, and you can then deploy these learning models on any robot. On robotics, for example, you can go to the part of generative artificial intelligence. So this is a learning cycle you have to go through if you want to go to learn artificial intelligence. So there is another course called Hands-on Machine Learning. You will find it in Udemy. And these courses you can apply as a scholarship, Andrew course and Hands-on Machine Learning on Udemy. You can apply for them as a scholarship on this application in Coursera and Udemy. And the last one is the certificates of Huawei. I said earlier that I am working as a global ambassador for Huawei. And for now, Huawei is offering a lot of opportunities in the field of artificial intelligence and big data and the cloud computer. You will have certificates on these fields. It's called HCIA, HCIP, and HCIE. There are 3 certificates. You will have to take an international exam to take any one of them, and every one of them, every certificate of them has the expiration date of 2 years. So you will have to take the other exam. If you took HCIA this year, you will have to take HCIP in the upcoming 2 years, so you can't lose the pass. If you want to search about this, you can go to the Huawei website and search about this certificate. You will have to start by taking HCIA, HCIB, HCIE. Every certificate of them has an online course. You will have to study the course, and then you will enter a national exam. If you, it's like a pre-exam. If you come out from this exam with a score out of like 600 points out of 1,000, you will have the voucher to take the international exam. If no, you will have to pay to the international exam. So you can take it as a voucher, and you can buy it if you don't take the voucher, if you want to go to the exam. And you can take these exams through Huawei academies in the universities in Egypt. And outside of Egypt, of course, you can take it by reaching out to any one of Huawei academy, any academy that's actually working with Huawei or under the supervision of Huawei. You can go to them and ask about these certificates, and you can take them. Another opportunity is actually the programs that I'm working about. This program, Seeds for the Future, that I am global ambassador for it. So this program, this actually is the logo of it. This program is about creating some kind of social entrepreneurship in the MENA region or in the whole world using artificial intelligence, cloud computing, big data, and 4G. Actually, in this program, in Seeds for the Future, you will have to apply as part of a team. Every year, this program opens its door. Actually, maybe in the 6 months of the year or the 5th month, May or June, the program opens its door to anyone who want to apply. You can apply to the program through the official website of Seeds for the Future. And they will also ask you to do a specific task for filtering, and they will choose some specific people in each country. Then you will go to the competition itself. The program has 3 stages: national, regional, and international. In the national part, you will have to be part of a team. In the first place, you will have to be part of a team, and you will be representing something or some company or some agency. For my year, 2 years ago, I was representing Huawei Egypt in the competition. Then you will have to do project. You will have to learn things about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And sustainable development is a very trending part itself. In the nowadays, it's all about creating projects and creating solutions that's going to be sustainable. Anything that we are creating using technology has to be sustainable. What's the meaning of sustainable? It has to have its effect on our childs and the generations that will come after us. So in 100 years, how will people benefit from the project I'm doing today? It's sustainability. So if you reach the point of making your project sustainable like this, you win a lot. So in Seeds for the Future, you will have to learn about Sustainable Development Goals, and learn about, you will take 5 courses in artificial intelligence, 5G, cloud computing, digital power, and big data. And you will use all these technology beside the SDGs, which is actually the Sustainable Development Goals is actually an 18 goals. Actually, the whole world has already applied on it. And Egypt has applied they have done something like Egyptian agenda. It's 2030 vision. They actually have like 8 goals in it or 9 goals in it, applying the Sustainable Development Goals in Egypt. So Egypt is applying 9 goals using them. So anyone who is trying to build a project in the Egyptian society, you will have to serve this agenda. You will have to serve the 2030 agenda of sustainable development or 2030 vision to apply sustainability in your project or use sustainability in your project. So our upcoming generation will use it or benefit from it. This is sustainability. In Seeds for the Future, you will use all of this to build a project to solve some specific task or specific problems that's facing your society. Then you will go to the national competition. You will do some kind of pitching in front of judges from the whole world. Then you will go to the second part. If you won in the first part, you will be shortlisted to the second part, which is MENA, the region itself. Every region will have its competition. The regional part, you will do the same thing. You will develop your solution. You will do a lot of development on it. Then you will go to the second part of the regional competition. Then if you have been shortlisted to the international part, you will go to an international competition, and most of the time you will travel to China to do the final pitching in front of judges in real. You will have a very interesting trip. This is the last part of the competition. And after this, we have 10 teams that will be shortlisted in front of the whole world, and they have a lot of funding on their projects and traveling journeys and things like this. For me, I have been shortlisted to the international competition, and then I have been elected as a global ambassador 1 year ago. 1 year ago, the elections has been open. I actually won the top leader prize in the MENA region and have been then elected as a global ambassador for the region. And I have been the first Egyptian woman to be elected for this position. And before this, I haven't been even thinking about it. I didn't even think that I won't be in this place one day. So you have to dream. You have to go out and start creating before thinking a lot about everything. So Yusuf is asking about internships. So I know some companies in Egypt that's opening internships, like there is the ministry actually وزارة الاتصالات, the MCIT is offering some internships, summer internships. I actually took the internship 2 years ago, I think, in the business department. I worked as a business support. So this is an open internship for 3 months. It's opening every year in the summer. There is also the internship of Synapse Analytics. They open an internship in data analysis and machine learning. And there is a lot of companies in Egypt actually opens an internship. Facebook and Google and Microsoft, all of them opens an internship program. Every internship you will have to apply through their official website. You will have to search about what you are expecting. You want an internship in data analysis, an internship in machine learning, an internship in artificial intelligence. You will have to go online and search about these opportunities and just apply. You will have to adapt your CV for the position and start applying and reaching out to people who works actually in these companies to take the opportunity. But for me, in Zaka, for example, Zaka is not offering any internship in these days. But if anything has been came out, we will publish on our website and our official platforms and LinkedIn. For example, you will have to follow every company like Huawei, like Samsung, like even outside of Egypt. You can take any online internship in Saudi Arabia or in United Arab Emirates. I actually took an internship in United Arab Emirates 1 year ago as an AI researcher. I worked as an artificial intelligence researcher in the United Arab Emirates Foundation, Emirat SAC, and I have been working as a researcher in the topic of AI hardware acceleration as a research assistant. And it has been a very challenging part in my journey and a very difficult part in my journey as well. So taking an internship and taking things like this, like going further away, away from anyone around you, it's very challenging and very hard for anyone, but it will deserve it. If you take it, you will know how to adapt for anything. So you will have to only go online and search for these opportunities and apply for them. So is there any other questions that can I answer? Okay. So you see now on the screen, this is my LinkedIn account and my email. You can follow me on LinkedIn, and if you have any questions or any suggestions for anything, I will try to provide answers and immediate answers for anyone who reach me there. You can talk to me anytime and I will be available. So this is my LinkedIn, you can follow me, and this is my email. You can use to reach out to me anytime. If you want some mentoring or anything, you can reach out to me anytime. So I see another question from Ahmed. I have an idea of having an AI app that acts as advisor for parents regarding parenting and exploring their children's abilities. For non-technical person, how deep I should learn to work in this, and if there are apps that can help instead of doing it from scratch. Also, if there are recommended LLMs to be suitable to this idea in Arabic language. So, Ahmed, this is a very good idea to do an app for parenting. But I don't know, act as an advisor for parenting. For parents, you wanna do an application to advise parents how to parent their children. Actually, my sister will love this idea on parenting their children, but it's a very difficult because here in Egypt, for example, people go to say to each mother, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and it's a task everyone is actually doing in the streets. So if you wanna do an application like this, you will have to start by doing a community research. You will have to do market research to think if you will have to search if there is any specific solution, any existing solution like this is that's actually existing in the era you are trying to build it on it. If you are trying to build it in Egypt, you will have to search in Egypt. If you want to build it in, for example, any other country like United Arab Emirates, you will have to search on the existing economy of United Arab Emirates to see if there is an existing solution like this. So this is the first step. If you didn't find an existing solution, you can start by building your app. If you did find an existing solution, you will have to study it at first. You will have to study their study case, their plan, and everything they did. So you can develop in it and make something that's much more better from it. So the first step will be providing the data you will be using and defining why are you actually doing this application. What are you trying to solve, and how much or how big the problem you are trying to solve is actually. So if this is a very challenging problem in the existing economy you're living in, so it's challenging, and if you build it, you will solve a big challenge. So you will be it will have its value. And if not, if it's not a very big problem, you will have to think of something else. So you will have to do this market research at first. You will have to start by this market research, and you will have to start searching. If you decided to do this, you will have to collect data. You will have to see or think about how this application will be used, how any parent can be used, or any parent that's open the phone can use it easily, in a very easy way, to ask for anything and find some specific solution for an existing problem. So for example, if a parent is actually in his home and his child has take all, if a mother, her children has take all her stuff and put them in the ground everywhere, how can you advise these parents? So it's very challenging to do something like this because it's very sensitive, because you want to go to people homes and give them a specific solution and a specific advice. It will be challenging for you and for them as well to use this. So you will start by collecting these data and know all the challenging and questions that will face them to provide answers if you want to do a machine learning model to apply to them. And you can also put the thing of expert talking if it will be like therapy prompt. If a parent is out of mind and want to talk to a therapy, you can put this in your application and something like this. I actually need something like this. If you did this, I will use it. I'm not a parent. I'm just an aunt, but I will use it. So I see Ahmed is telling you I can help you with e-learning LMS. So it's a very good thing. You can reach out to each other, Ahmed El-Komi and Ahmed El-Handali. You can reach out to each other and start discussing what you can work together. How can you work together, and what can you do? And you can put me in. Of course, you can ping me on my email or LinkedIn, and we can discuss it more together if we can build something. So I think our time has come to the end. I hope that I answered all your questions, and I hope my session has been some kind of valuable for all of you. If anyone has another question, you can type it right now. We still have like 2 minutes or 2 minutes. And of course, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn anytime. I'll be available all the time. My LinkedIn is, I use LinkedIn all the time, so you can reach out to me anytime. You can talk to me about anything. If you need any supervision or any suggestion, any question, you can talk to me. If you want to discuss anything that I was talking about today, you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn or on my email. I'll be available and I will try to respond as soon as possible to anyone who reach out to me. I hope my session has been valuable to you and I give you the answers you were seeking. I'm sorry if my English language hasn't been very good. So because I'm Egyptian, so I really hope that I can talk to you all in Arabic. We can do this next times, inshallah. But I try to explain everything in the most easiest way for anyone to understand what I'm saying. We talked about the aspects of artificial intelligence and AI and social entrepreneurship in the MENA region in specific and the Egyptian economy itself. So I hope you take my advices and my notes into consideration while applying anything in this economy and this society. And I hope you all success in your life and your career. It has been a very valuable session for me, and it has been an honor for me to present in this presentation for all of you. I hope you have a great day and you continue the webinars, the other webinars and other workshops with good intentions and the good minds to hear and listen and learn for everything you learn or see today. I hope you have a great day. Thank you all for being here and thanks for continuing the session with me. See you next time, inshallah. Goodbye.
Thank you, Ola. It was very interesting. And thank you, everyone, for attending the tutorial. We will have a short break now and see you back at 3:45. Bye.